Hey guys, and how's it going? Hey, I went on a boating pick a little while ago, and while I was there, I ended up also scoring this antique outboard that was thrown in with the deal that unfortunately does not turn over all the way, so I was told. I figured it'd make for a good video. Either we'll figure out what happened to it, or possibly if we can fix it. So without further ado, let's go bring it over to the operating table and see if we can resurrect it or do an autopsy. One of the two is going to happen. This looks like to be a Lauson Sport King. I don't know how many horse it is. What does it say? 4-cycle? So it's a 4-stroke. That's kind of odd for outboards. Most of the time they're 2-strokes. I don't know if that's handwritten on there or if that's the factory. Choking. Throttle, not throttle. Throttle. Again, I don't know much about it other than what you're seeing. We're all looking at it pretty much for the first time. I do see one of the legs are busted off for the mount. And it's a rope start. It does turn. Actually, it seems like it's turning all the way around, doesn't it? I just swore he said it was locked up. There may be something that's floating around inside of it. Anyway, we're gonna go see what we can do to go bring it back to life. They're already making a liar out of me. Let's see about getting what we got for covers on it. Probably looks like 3 screws right here. We can get this tail end off and get into it and start seeing what we got. And we can open the gas cap too. Yeah, that's not happening. Should be able to flip it up so it's easier to work on. Let's go see if we can at least film anyway, right? Let's go with something like that. And now we'll get this cover off. Think we're gonna get critters? Yeah, a little bit of something was living in there. Got seeds in it anyway. I don't know about getting the upper cover off of it. Looks like it's a little flathead engine. And I think it's from the 40s. Alright. Yeah, I think we should kind of open it up a little bit more if we can. What we got to do to get this top one off? Not seeing much. Gas cap. Might clear the gas cap. Let's go grab a light up inside here. I would think I see a screw or some sort right there. Right there too. So I'm gonna get a couple more of these buds out of here. Let's get the top off of it too. Looks like we got a fuel line holding a copper fuel line from the petcock. Let's go undo that. I'll get that out of the way. Stuck. There we go. Come on. Something rattling in there. You know. Now I can see into the guts of it. I would think being a 4-stroke, it would have oil in the crankcase somewhere. It does seem like it's leaked a lot of something out of it. All over there. It ran down the exhaust. I'm not sure what it would have for a fill or see anything. Oil drain right there. I don't know where the fill is though. Let's pop the plug out of it and we'll see if we can kind of spin it over, see if we get any kind of compression, see if the piston's even moving up and down. Get that out. Might be bolted on. Yeah, it's bolted on. Gotta get a little pair of pliers. That was the original plug, huh? It's definitely got some Earl in it. Let's go see. Fortunately, the piston is over here, so we're not gonna be able to see it. Let's get that out of our way and see if we feel. Feels like it's doing a little bit of something. It's got, well, for an engine that was supposed to be locked up and not turning, I definitely think that's a turn for the better, huh? Spark. Let's even wrap a rope around it, see if we have any spark. Let's go get set up for that. We'll throw that plug back on there and we'll wrap the rope around it, give her a yank. Well, it definitely doesn't give you much in the way of wrapping a rope around it. You get about maybe 2 turns before you're used up the pulley. We're gonna look right there. Actually, make sure that throttle is somewhere in the on position. I don't know if it's got a kill switch or not. Do you see anything? I didn't get to see anything. We might have to set up like a drill or something, maybe to spin it. What are we doing? Probably turn off the big light. I don't think I saw anything, but then again, I was shaking the motor while it was happening. Not to be totally not unexpected. I'm gonna go pop the lights off. We'll go check one more time. Then we'll probably have to start getting into the flywheel and figure out where the points and stuff are, if that's any good. You know, it's dark. See my finger, kind of? Right about there is where we're looking. Yeah, I didn't see anything. All right, we're going in. So we got 3 screws holding it on. There's probably a bolt underneath it. Not sure how tight these are going to be. Oh. That was better than I expected. Yeah, I don't know if they used a really thin rope on that, but that was not much to get a good yank on it, you know? Yeah, I got nothing in there. Definitely someone's been in there before. That's pretty hammered. Fairly decent. We could probably spin it by that though. Let's before we totally take it apart, let's go set up a drill on this with a clutch and we'll give her a spin and take a look at that plug, and maybe we'll even try clean some of the oil off there just in case it's foul. Just don't want to dig a hole if we don't need to, right? All right. Yeah, it's got nothing. You got nothing. Real quick, I'm just going to eliminate the plug. We'll use the wire itself. Let's see if we get anything arcing across that. Let's see. Figure the engine's roughly 1945. How many years is that? You're going to laugh if it's after me, aren't you? Yep, nothing. Alright. I see a shut-off switch at ground right here. So that would be the throttle. It's definitely in off position. Let's see if it does what it's supposed to. That's off. Looks like it just shorts out right inside there. Just making sure it's not touching anything else. Actually, I think we can, if we do one of those, can we get the wire right out of it? I might need 2 hands. This will just eliminate that switch. I gotta push you down. So what that wire would do would ground out if when you want to shut it off. So if we could disconnect that wire real quick, we'll give her one last check and make sure there was nothing going on over there that was causing an issue. Unfortunately, a lot of times what happens is the magnetos dry out and they fail. Nope, nothing. All right. Off with its head. So then you wedge a screwdriver underneath them and get them to pop off. It actually feels like it might go. We'll get a little bit of pressure on it. We'll put the nut on a tad. Actually, that doesn't have much threads left of it at all. That has had some issues in its past. I don't think the threads on that, which is only 3, match the threads that are on that. So this is not even the nut for that top of that pulley. So definitely someone's been screwing around with this before us, because that is not correct. See if I can give her a little love tap. Watch, there's like nothing under here. All the parts are missing. All right. I don't see anything broke immediately. Hopefully, the points are just not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Can we turn it? Can we turn it with? We can turn it with the prop. There we go. Let's get a better look right there. Let's go pop a light on. Come on. We'll definitely say they are not clean. They're like a black crud over them. Let's go get some fine sandpaper. We'll give them a couple drags on that, clean that surface up, and we'll make sure that gap is closing up too. Let's go turn it again. Yeah, they close. Gap seems kind of large though, doesn't it? Usually like points are like 16 to 20. That seems a tad excessive, but we'll leave it alone where it is. We just run some sandpaper on them, and well, I guess I'll put the mag back on because we need it to see if it has spark. Let's give a quick look on anything else. There's that ground wire. Again, the possibility that that's gone is quite possible. But let's go clean the points up. Got some 600 grit. So you can look on the paper, see how much crap you get coming off of it. Go turn it so the points are closed. That way you get a little bit more drag on them. A little more. Get in there. Don't get some brake clean. Watch your eyes. So the surfaces are clean. Let's go pop that mag back on there. We'll give her another yank and see if we get any spark. Actually, before we get into that, let's go see if we can find a nut that's got the correct threads. That's just not going to do well for it. Yeah, let's see if we can find something a little bit closer to what it's supposed to be. I dug to my stash. I think this is metric though, but it does go on there, but it seems like it's got a bunch of play. And it might be at least better to work with than what we had, and you know, it's not a time when stores are open right now, but maybe we'll work with this at least for time being. Get in there. At least it's catching a little bit of threads. Okay, you get a socket that fits that now. The other socket's the wrong size. All right. What do you think? I'm giving it about a 50-50 myself. Oh yeah. Nice, nice. All right. You know what that means, don't you? It means we need to clean a carburetor. Let's throw a spark plug in it real quick. I want to spin it and just listen to the compression of it. See what we have, valves that are sealing. It felt like it was kind of on my thumb having something. Again, but this was, you know, told to us to have an issue, so. You see? What are you looking down for? Yeah. All right. Good. Let's go check for oil. There's a lot of oil pissed out of it, so I have a feeling the crankcase is probably pretty low. Let's go Let's go figure out where the fill is on this thing, and we'll probably drain out what's in it, put some in it, and maybe we'll throw a little bit of gas in her, see if she'll fire over for us. The prop's been turning the whole time, so I don't think that's an issue. Let's go see if you can see where there's a fill. Do you think the empty and the fill is the same thing? You just laid on its side? Where was that? It was on the side, wasn't it? Where was it? I know we saw it. Come on now. I think I see the little access plate right there. Oh, right there. Oil drain. So what would you use to fill it? And plus you got to figure out how much is in it, right? So it's got to be like something that tells us. Well, I guess we might as well just drain what's in it out of it for now, and then we'll figure that out as we go along. I bet you we just lay it on its side. You're supposed to probably put a predetermined amount of oil in it. Not that I know what that number is. Think anything's gonna come out of it? Yeah, judging by all the crap laying around, I'm gonna say very little. It's got a magnet on it for take up metal bits. You think anything? I'm gonna say next to nothing. I wonder if we just should have left it in the stand the way it was. Does that help drain it? Judging by all the oil that's coming out of the... So here's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. I wonder if it sat on its side for a long time, right? And it got hydraulic locked from the oil getting up into the piston and the engine couldn't turn over. I grabbed it, set it a different way. The oil pissed out of the side of it once I did that, and it stopped the hydraulic lock. Because he was told it was locked up. He told me it was locked up. I didn't bother screwing with it. So I do seem to remember grabbing the top and saying, yeah, I don't think it moved. But anyway, let's go pop it back in the stand. We'll set it down, see if anything drips out of it. I'm not getting much of anything out of it right now. Let it piss on the bench if it wants to. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything coming out of it. Because she is bone dry. I bet you that's what happened. Literally, that's what's coming out of it. Nothing. So what do you think on far as fill? I also see we have a line coming down in here. What's that for? Where does that go to? Figure out when we get it back up on the bench. Actually, it looks like a fuel line, but why would it be going down there, right? It's a 4-stroke. It's not like it uses the bottom of the crank for the fuel. So the mount wiggled down. I noticed there's a hole right here, and it looks like it kind of goes up to where that line is, up, around, and it goes into the breather right here. This is, I think it's the valve cover or access to the valves, and it's probably where the breather is, so any crankcase pressure gets pushed out and about and just exits right out of there. This is air cooled. You can tell by the cylinder head, the way the fins are. It's air cooled. I do not see anywhere. I doubt it has an impeller usually there's fins or holes where water would get sucked up here. I do see a little tiny port right there. I'm not quite sure what that's for. But I do not see anything for a impeller. There's no intake for water anywhere, and the exhaust is right there. It just gets dumped out into the water. So I don't think we have anything to deal with down there. Maybe some grease. Let's go take a look in there. That looks kind of cruddy, doesn't it? I wonder maybe if the oil's just not coming out because it's got so much sludge in front of it. Let's go pick away at that a little bit, see if we can dig some crap out of the way. Just does not look like it's very open, does it? It is 76 years old. It can have kind of clogged arteries. Oh, it looks like there's something in there. What is that? It's moving around, whatever it is. Is it like a filter or something? Almost looks like a little bit of a screen or something. You think as far as I wouldn't think there'd be a pump in there. I think it would just be like a splash. What is that? A little filter or something? Let me see if I can get some forceps or something in there to grab that. Yeah, there's a bunch of sludge and crap around it, all around it. I'm not opposed to taking it apart, but maybe later. We're still trying to figure out this thing's gonna run for us. Yeah, let me see if I can go grab that, like a little forceps or something. There it is. It's got a hunk of screen. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a filter. That's your oil filter. Don't blink, you'll miss it. I don't know if there's anything else in there too. We got something else. I think we got goo. And what I think we should probably do is, I'm gonna go pick at that for a little bit, but we just put oil in it, and we let it run, and then if it runs, then we'll drain it later. We'll kind of let it flush itself out. I would definitely say that is OEM factory oil. Yeah. And go flip it back on its side. It might piss some more oil out too now that that's out of the way. There's definitely mud coming out of it. Let's go and put a little brake clean in it. Doesn't look like it's mixing with whatever the oil is though. It's coming out like a stream. All right. So that's that little filter. Let's go through. That's mineral spirits, a little on the milky side. Let's see if that'll do it. I think what will break that crap up if we can put something in that crankcase. I have a feeling it's pretty sludged up. I got acetone too, but let's go try this first. Seems like it's changing color, right? Dirt's coming off of it. I'm gonna go dump that out. I'm gonna go put some acetone in now. I'm gonna go try it with acetone, see if that works better. Try some acetone. What's our third chance is lacquer thinner? That's not really doing anything either, is it? Oh well, I think we go clean that filter up. We'll put that plug in, and I'm gonna guess on how much oil goes in it. I think we'll dump like, I don't know, maybe 6 ounces in it. Can't take that much. There's probably an old boating website or something we can go on to go and see what it takes. I wonder if that was glued to the plug. The end of that looks like it's epoxy or something, or is that just crap? That's, yeah, it looks like it's epoxy, doesn't it? Where's the plug? You think that? Yeah, I bet you that was supposed to stay like that. That's the deal. I wonder if we just leave it off. I don't know if that's going to stay or not. Yeah, so I guess we're going to guess. I'm just gonna go some straight 30. I think I'll fill that funnel up about 5 or 6 times. I'll call that for a win. I don't know what the horsepower of this thing is. Probably like 2. Yeah, you get the idea, right? Rather shoot on a little too much than not enough. I would think that you would have... I don't know, yeah. I'm trying to think, like, maybe you could stand the motor on a certain, like if you laid on its side this way and whatever oil runs back out of the plug. Generally, there's like a plug on the side of the motor, you fill it and you just let it run out till it goes to that level. It does seem kind of odd to me that that's how it would be set up, though. Again, I'm not doing a bunch of searching on the internet to go figure it out. We got a decent amount in there. We'll call it for the win. Make sure it still turns. All right. I'm going to go clean that off too. Let's go dump a little bit of gas in it. That much. Clean off that plug. We'll put the wire back on, give her a spin, see if she makes smoke. All right, see what we get. Hello, baby. There's a little thumper to it, huh? Let's go see if we can get some other fuel right into the carb, see if it'll go. I got the throttle, like, actually, let's lean it that way. And I gotta get it, hold on. I'm wearing it. Let's do something like that. So it'll stay in. I wonder if we can actually feel the... I want to pull that carb apart anyway. Let's go. See if it'll hold on to it. I'll try it again. I got the throttle at like quarter throttle. Got a blown head gasket. Yeah. There's holes right here. It's coming out of the exhaust right there. I thought I had a blown head gasket. It doesn't feel like it's got a terrible lot of compression, but... yeah. It's either coming out the top of the exhaust pipe right there, or it's got a blown head gasket. When it was running, did you see smoke coming out of here, or just out of these holes? Let's go for it one more time. We'll keep an eye on it. Get in there. It kind of sounds like it too, doesn't it? It's got that air sound to it. Where's that? Let's go cover these up. That might be okay. We won't screw with that for now. Let's go pop the top of the float off. We'll take a peek inside there, see what's going on, see if how, you know, generally boats get run out of fuel. You take it out of it and you lay it on its side, all the fuel comes out of it. But let's go pop that open, take a look inside, see what we got for little bits and pieces in there. Does it have a governor? Let's go turn that throttle. So that's the throttle linkage. What's that? Choke, right? And that is choke. And the choke does not return, so the choke's got a... she's a tad dry. Hate when she's dry. I think we could leave that one on. Let's say somebody's rounded off the corners on that brass nut, so maybe we'll leave that alone. We'll just get these 2 screws out of it. I'll try to as little damage as possible, right? Yeah. She's a senior citizen. And she's seen some surgeries before in her life, I guess. And I think it's probably got like a cork float. They got like a cork float that's like shellac. I think they, so it doesn't take in the fluid. But we're gonna find out. Could be brass also. What we got? I think we got cork. And that looks like the needle and seat right there. So the top part of that, that's the needle that shuts the fuel on and off going into it. Let's go pop that out of there. No, that does not move. I think it's been there a day or two. That might be an issue for us. It's supposed to float up and down and move around. She is not doing a thing. All right, so how are we going to get that out of there without damaging it? That's the next thing. What do you think we should do for soaking in something, maybe? I wonder if it's just got a bunch of varnished fuel around the side of it that's caused it to do its thing. I'm going to go get a little bit of the carb dip that I use in my ultrasonic cleaner for cleaning carbs, and we'll just pour it right in there. We'll let that sit and kind of float inside there. Hopefully it does this thing. Kind of looks like it's cracked too, doesn't it? Right down the center of the cork. There we go. Wile E. Coyote. Super genius. I like the way that rolls out. Wile E. Coyote. Super genius. It should maintain its level. I don't think it... where does it draw up from, right? There's got to be a needle. A passageway somewhere. Probably the main jet right here. This one that's underneath it. That's going to be the air fuel mix. That going up. You should probably see about getting that out of there. Let's go throw a wrench on that. Pull that down. See if we can get the guts out of here while that's soaking. Imagine what the inside of the gas tank looks like then, if that's what the carb is like. I have a feeling it's going to be all gummed up too. Definitely thinking that's what happened. I think they said it was locked up, and I think it was just hydraulic locked from oil. The piston couldn't move. Then it got laid down in my truck in just the right fashion. It left a big puddle. And it kind of peed out. Yeah, it's kind of gooey, huh? I should be running right through it and right out right now. I wonder if we just take that whole carb off. We throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Maybe we can screw with the gas tank. Because yeah, that's a bit muddy. Kind of looks like the oil that was in the bottom of it. Same deal. So we got throttle cable, I mean the choke cable rather, and then we got to get that throttle linkage off of there. It looks like it's got a set screw underneath here. That way you can back off and it'll unpinch the linkage. I don't know if we should mark that or not, or if it's keyed. I'm gonna go take a scribe real quick. I'm gonna just go put a scribe line down that and take that screw out, and we'll take the two screws off of the carb. Let the whole thing soak. Can't get to... I don't get to either one of them. Is the bottom one a bolt? The bottom one's a bolt and the top one's a screw. Get that one out of there. I can't get the screw out for the linkage. It does not rotate in a position that we can get to it. Hopefully we'll pop it off of there and be able to orient it to where we can. I got a whole bunch of boaty kind of projects coming up in the near future. So we're gonna have some boating content. This is the oldest one probably of them all. We got some more modern ones. I'll call them modern. So much for that fluid, huh? Let's see if we can get that. See if we can get that screw out of there now. And you call the 90s modern. It's only 30 years old. show my age, right? It's that time of the year. It's boating time. This looks like a piece of mechanics wire somebody hooked up to it. I don't think it's a the actual rod that was on there, because the other end looks like it's just a wrapped with a pair of pliers. It looks like it's not a clothes hanger, but close to it. Yeah. Can we take the whole link? I don't care if the whole linkage wants to go with it. I'll take the whole linkage, however it wants to come out of there. There's a pin up here. You see? Can't see, can you? There we go. I don't know. Will come out that way. Of course, there's another screw. Somebody please come off. There it goes. There's that one. Now we should be able to twist out of this one. Hammer. Hammer. It's a piece of wire somebody made. Alright, I'm going to go tighten these two screws up, because that's going to keep their adjustment. There's no reason to screw them up, right? That one and that one can stay right where they are. Let's see what we got for... Let's see, I don't know if... again, I think heat and the ultrasonic cleaner will free that up. It's kind of feels like it wants to move a little bit. I have a feeling it's just so varnished around the edges, it's really stuck to it. Now let's go give her some heat and some vibration. And a little cooking. We'll give her half hour. And we'll give her some heat. The heat's gonna take a while for it to come up, but what it goes through is let it do its thing, and we'll go get that jet. Actually, we'll throw that jet in there too. I'm gonna throw this in there too, but let's go see if we can get that. This is the seat. The other part was the needle. This is where it shuts the fuel on and off and maintains the float level. I don't know if there's a seal up inside here, or if it's just metal on metal. I'm not sure. I'm gonna go look. I think it's just metal on metal. I'm gonna leave that gasket want to come off. If not, we're gonna leave the gaskets alone. We're gonna leave them alone. It's like are we missing a piece right here already? That just flake off on us? Yeah, I'm gonna go look, make sure there's no rubber in it. I doubt it. It would be too tiny to try to get an O-ring in there. All right, that, and that going in the bath too. All right, well, that's doing its thing. We could look into the gas tank and the pet, see what kind of issues they're going to find inside there, and we also can go look at the gear box down on the end and see what's happening inside there. I think we should probably work on the gas tank first, because that might have to soak too. So let's go get that set up and see if we can get that cap off of there. I tried it by hand and that didn't work, so I think we should go right for brute force. Looks like somebody's already been ahead of this too. There's a bunch of chomp marks on the end of it, so if it's anything like the carburetor, it's definitely gonna have its own issues. Oh, it's going. I don't know if it's supposed to do that. that leave threads behind? Or was it cross-threaded? It seemed like it didn't exactly come out of there all that great, did it? The good side is, we're off the bat. I don't see a ton of crap coming out of the tank. That looks like a gasket, right? A bunch of gaskets stacked up. Pop them out of there. What if the threads are kind of screwed up and they put this on there? Like, why would you put... See if we can unthread it. Not damaging them. Why would you put... That looks like they're homemade too. Yeah, that's like a piece of cardboard. Bet you was leaking like crazy there. Because the... Bet you the gas cap probably had a seal on it up here at one time, and it lost it. That should be a vent to let air in so the fuel can flow. I don't know if that feels all that great either. Alright, that should be an on-off. There it goes. Yeah, it just lets air in and out. Then when you throw it in your car when you're going home, you thread it down so it doesn't piss a bunch of fuel out. I think it's just meant. We could probably just put like a rubber O-ring maybe in there. Oh, those threads are still good. Yeah, that's a hunk of cardboard. And that's definitely a hunk of cardboard. What do you think box was? I think that was made out of cereal. See, it's a lower. We got a bunch of them. There's another one. Go get that off of there. I'll probably just get it with a blade. Hopefully there's no leaking where this fitting meets the tank. Damn it. I just want to rip it right off, but just in case. Yeah, we're going for it. We're just going to go for it. It looks like that looks like it's factory. That's really junk, so we're gonna omit that. And hopefully, like I said, that's not open to the. I'm going to get close and personal with it. I'm going to blow air. I'm going to seal my lips around that. And hopefully it's just pushing out of there. Good. Let's see about the pet. Not in the ones that you pet. Not that kind of pet. This is your. This shuts the fuel off when you're not using it to the carburetor. We should be able to run the. Oh. That might be an issue. Well, actually, it's in the open position right now because I'm able to blow through it. Let's go keep unthreading that. Should probably do the same with this. We'll put a bunch of that fluid in it, maybe. It's a good sign that we're able to blow through it, though. Last time this was used, there was no ethanol in the fuel. A lot of times, too, boats and boat engines, they get filled, even like modern ones, if they get filled, and if they're a boat that's used on the water, they get filled on the docks, and the fuel that they have is not, doesn't have ethanol in it, too, even today. Yeah, that's going to rip right out of this. You can go the other way. What's going to happen is it's going to rip the solder joint's going to fail on us. It's got a lower. It's got that nut on it. Let's go see if we can get that one off. And she's crusty. Oh yeah. Yeah, so that is supposed to roll up inside down this collar. And she no move. I'll probably heat it up too. Let's see what we get out of. That's looking like a tad chalky, isn't it? Don't know if I want to try taking that out the rest of the way out of the tank. What do you think? Go for it or not? Leave it alone, or should we dig that out of there? There's a bunch of crap inside there. I don't know if you can see it. Alright. Get an adjustable. Alright, we're already in this far. We'll break it. Go. I get a good bite on it. I want to screw it up. Yeah. the tank. Just turn it. That probably has some kind of like thread locker on it, maybe. Sometimes you have dissimilar metals, right? You know. Yeah, yeah. Definitely was going to need a tad bit of cleaning. That arteries, they would have done surgery on it if it was a person. She's about 80% clogged. I'll go clean all that crap up. Yeah. Should probably throw that in there too, huh? In the cleaner. How's the tank? Oh, it's got a buy. That's all. It's all sludgy. So I'm going to take a few minutes and pick away at this stuff. And then maybe we'll throw some of the fluid. We'll put it like a cork or something in here. We'll throw some in through the gas cap, and we'll let it swish around a little bit. And see if there's any crap built up in the tank. Probably put a light down in there too. We could take a look at it. Looks like somebody did a repair here with solder. Probably had a leak here at one time. The gas factory. Kind of crude, aren't they? I kind of wonder if that writing is factory. Well, that sticker looks like it is, right? But the oh, it's on the other part. The other one looked like somebody just wrote it on there, where it says throttle, and what was the other? Throttle. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go clean this up, and I'll bring you back. She doesn't look too bad. It's got a little bit of like staining in the bottom of it, but nothing. A couple of sludgy spots like right there. That would... So the drain is right there. Let's go up to that location. Yeah. Not terrible. Good. Yeah, throw a cork in that. I'm going to throw some fluid in, let it slush around while we work on something else. That one? Yeah, that'll get it. Didn't realize they had a brand new can. Imagine that. That's what I've been using. For those who ask. And I didn't spill a drop. Well, while that stuff is soaking, let's go into the bottom of the gearbox and we'll take a peek. That looks like a nail. That's a nail from 1950, I'd say. So get that out of there. And we'll open up the gearbox, see what we got. I would think I don't think it's going to be gear lube. My guess would probably just be grease, but I'm going to go find out right now. And we get a couple of can't see the slot. I hate when that happens. Should be able to get it by feel, right? Grow up. Come on. Tight one. There we go. What do you think? Grease or... Well, I'm guessing grease. The reason why I say that, actually, let me say there is a plug on the side of it. Generally they have like two plugs. One to fill it and one for it to come out. Once it's full, you kind of like feed it from the bottom. You fill it from the bottom. Oh, stop. Alright. I would definitely say that is been on there for all 76 years. Well, it's still gooey. It's not full of water. That's a good sign. I would say... Do you think it's gear oil that turned into grease, or you think it was always grease? It's kind of... Let's go dive in. See what we can get. Yeah. I think it's grease. That should be able to lift right out of there. Yeah. Yeah. Gears look decent. Let's see, missing teeth. Alright, is that oil or grease down there? That is... It's oily grease, of course. Yeah. Somewhere in between. Question is, what do we want to put back in it? Yeah, it's not like this thing is going to get a ton of use, right? We're just more just having fun trying to bring it back to life. If it has, like I said, a drain plug on the side, let's go flip it on its... No, those are just set screws. That screw I was thinking right there. Usually you fill it up to a level and then it kind of pees out. And it's kind of tiny to go try to get anything in it though. Is that even a screw? Did I hurt myself? Nope. Let me go try it again. Alright guys. Hard to say. I don't think we're really going to go wrong with either one. That's probably a gasket. I don't want to mess up if there's a gasket on it. Alright, I'm going to go wash some stuff up. Wash it. Is that a plug on that side? There's a larger plug right there. So I'm going to say it was gear oil, not grease. Let's see what that says. It's got writing on it. I'll get it. Hold on. Be nice if it says a weight. Says something, I have no idea what it is. Grease! It's grease. It'll be fine. Sounds. We had a gasket there somewhere. It's got some writing on it. So I'll focus on it. How about that? Michigan. I think of the name of the company there. It's like GD or CD APUS MIC. Nice serial number of OB425. I don't know if that would be a date or a size or what. Yeah, so I was afraid of the threads look terrible on that. See if you can get maybe rid of the washer. I cleaned the threads up, but the threads were just like junk. Maybe that washer's not even supposed to be there. Why would you have a lock washer on a something that has a key in it, right? Not feeling good. It is not going to be happy with. Oh, no, make me a liar. Snug down. All right, I'm going to go see if I can find us a better nail. Starts up. Oh, we got to put that little screw in yet. The one that was in the side. That one. I think what you do is you probably put a grease gun in one side. You keep pumping it out so it oozes out that side. We're not doing that. Let's go check on dinner. Hopefully there's a floating by itself. That would be nice. Aha, yeah, it did. It freed itself up. Nice. Yeah, it popped itself out of the hole. Awesome. Good thing we didn't keep prying on it and break it, huh? How's everything else looking? I can tell you it's warm, that's for sure. Dump everything back in. All right, I'm gonna go clean this stuff up and give her a whooshing. Go back to the bench. I washed them off. What casualties I see. I cannot blow air through here, so this is still clogged. You gotta figure out what's happening there. I guess we gotta go take that gummed out fitting off of there, and it's probably right in that area. The gasket went gooey bye-bye, so we're gonna need to go make a gasket for that probably. And this still does not turn, but at least the float came out of it. That's the biggest thing. Let's see if we can get this to turn for us. Yeah. Certainty. That should go further than that though. I think what it was, I think this was punched free and the whole thing went that direction and came out of there from that pinch. There's probably a seal that's down inside there, like a packing. Throw that back on. But we should be able to run that. It's running into a wall though. That plunger should be able to run in and bottom out on whatever surface it was. Where was it? It was in there, right? Like that. So that should be able to run in and block off that port right there. We're not using it. I think if we work that enough, we'll probably get that to do what it's supposed to. At least it's moving now, you know. I think before it wasn't even giving us anything. All right, let's, needle looks good. Carb looks decent. We still got to go. The fuel goes out. Is there a passage right there that goes out? Does it go through a hole in the bottom? Oh, it's right there on the side. I see it. So we got to make sure that that still has air, capacity for air to blow through it. Just shot air out of there. We need down there. Hard to tell if it did anything. So why would that be open? What's the sense of that being open? Nothing blocks that off, so you would think it would just be drawing fuel in through that side port, through here. You meter how much goes up and it sucks it through there. Why is there a hole there? That does not make sense. Maybe it's not supposed to be there, have a little plug in it, or maybe it is. Later on, if it pisses fuel, we'll know why. All right. Think we can get that with a wrench? Kind of doubting it. Try it first before we get going. Probably should have took that apart when we threw it in the cleaner. You should have said something. Well, you didn't. So we get a bunch of crud right there. And one of these, I could see through that one, so that one's good. That's clear. And this one, on the other hand, yeah, that one's still clogged. I think we get in there with a little tiny drill bit. It's probably right at one of the ends. Hopefully it's not right there. Worst case, we have to, we'll make a new one, but let's go snake that out. Probably should be able to feel some resistance. Actually, that feels pretty good all the way. So you see what it comes out of it though. It's not digging any sludge out of it. That sucks. That means it's going to be right there. I wonder if that corner is just crushed down so much. Try getting some carb cleaners. Yeah, there's one right here. I don't think it's gonna. I'm not gonna run if gas can't go through it. What I might do is throw that back in the cleaner and let it soak. Problem is, it's hard to get the fluid in there. You throw it in there, you know, it just holds a pocket of air and just kind of sits down there, cleans the outside, but it doesn't really get into the pores of it. I'm going to go paw at that a little bit more, see if I can get that to go clean. Maybe if I can get a fitting right on it where I can put direct pressure through it. Either that, I wonder if we can maybe turkey baster some fluid in and kind of let it sit overnight. I think we just had to get a little bit more forceful. And we're getting mud. Yeah. Here's a booger. The problem is it's right on that turn though. We can get fluid to go through it. We'll be able to purge it, but it's like one of those cartoons with a rifle where he shoots himself. Elma J. Fudd. Nope. Could straighten it out, but right now it's perfectly bent to match up how it sits, so I don't really want to screw with it. Plus I'm afraid it's gonna crack. Probably try heating it. Maybe we try heating it again, a little bit of the goo to flow. It's puking. It's gonna hurt. Like I stay out of the contact patch. Ha! Did it work? I think so. That's warm. Don't hold it there. Yeah, we got her. That a little fire couldn't fix. Victory is ours. That's a float. Okay, orientate it correct. Fuel's coming in this way. And the float's sunk down. Allows fuel to come in. As that needle comes in, it shuts the fuel off and maintains a certain level in that cavity in there. The gasket we got to make, and this is the fuel shut off. It does not shut off. I don't know if there's supposed to be like another surface in there that it bottomed out into, or that was supposed to thread in further. I tried working it back and forth. It just seems like it hits a wall, doesn't go any further. I'm not going to screw with it the way I wish it worked, yes, but I think at this point I'm going to leave it well enough alone so they don't trash something that I don't have, right? So we need to make, I wonder if we could use a little O-ring instead of making a gasket. I wonder if we can get a little tiny, it's got a little breather hole cut into it. Let me go see what I got. I got gas in my lip. Wonder how I did that. So let's go. Either we're going to make a gasket, or we are going to try to get a little tiny O-ring. I wonder if like a AC O-ring, if I got one that's large enough to fit that, we can crush down on that surface. It's about the closest I got, but I don't think we're going to be able to, unless we get to stretch and stay. It's going to just want to, there's not enough shoulder there to catch it, you know. What if we take it like a rubber band, we just stretch the crap out of it? Work? And we get it on quick enough before it like reverts back to its normal shape? Maybe. I guess it should probably have the rest of it all ready to go, huh? If you don't have to roll it getting it on there, it'll probably stay. You want me to glue it, don't you? If I have the problem is trying to cut a circle that's that. Do we got it? Oh, so close. Go find a rubber band. The other thing too, I don't know if the gas is gonna melt this or not. Is trying to cut a circle close enough, because you have such a tiny shoulder that you're trying to work with that you got to get the gasket fairly close to that. Let me do a quick little look around, make sure I don't have anything else. If not, we're gonna come up with something along these lines. So my thought is, I got the O-ring around the outside of it. If I could just crack it loose and let it just pop in. It'll sit on that lip. Oh. I don't want it to drop all the way in. Like that. And get the screws in it. And squish it down. Think it'll work? Didn't have it sitting on the needle right, but when I pulled it away, it stayed. Moving on a prayer. The next guy is going to be putting it together saying, what the hell? 75 years from now. We're flying around in spaceships. Shuts off. Doesn't open. Oh yeah, it does. That's about 12-15 hours later, and I let that tank soak overnight with the carb cleaner. And I also found a O-ring that would fit up inside it. We're gonna go try sealing it against the upper lip. I don't know if originally it was set up to seal on that other part. Go see if this will lock down on it. Then what we'll do is we'll flip it over. I wonder if it is leaking on the seam. Actually, does not feel like it seals all that great no matter what. Those threads are kind of aluminum on aluminum. I think they're gonna pee. Not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. So that's going to mean when you take it off whatever you're using. I don't really have anything to chase those threads with neither. They don't look terrible. But again, aluminum, they do not play well together. Let's go dump that out and see what it looks like. Still looks fairly clear, so I don't think there was much gunk in it. And that's how much a whole tank holds. think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of gas in there. And I'm going to rinse it out and just dump it back out again. What do you think that is? About half gallon? If that. Again, how much does this thing burn? So we can go put this tank back on the motor and hook the fuel up. See what she does. Since I'm done with this. Yeah, it's the moment of truth. Let's go throw a little bit of gas in it and see if it leaks out anywhere. I'm using a premix just because it's ethanol free. I don't have any that's not. Let's let that set for a minute. It's leaning back anyway, so all the fuel should be right around there. Hopefully we don't have anything peeing out, and that the float works is the other part of it. All the fuel lines that are wrapped up there. Looks decent. So we got a choke lever hooked up, and then we got to adjust the air fuel mix on it, and of course the pet doesn't do anything. Let's go spinning with a drill. I changed the nut out. The one that I got on there has a little bit better threads. The one that was on there, the bottom, it didn't start for 2 or 3 threads. It had like a big shoulder washer built onto it. This one is still no good though. It's too tall. I can't put that pull start back on it, so I still have to go hunt that down. All right, let's see if we get anything out of it. It's got a ratchet on it so it can spin faster. We should give her some choke. I do not think it's getting any gas. Either that or the throttle, that does not feel right. Operating difficulties. The ground wire might be screwed up. I didn't check the throttle, and the throttle's not turning correctly. I hooked that ground lead back up, but I don't think that linkage is doing what it's supposed to. It definitely would help if I put that linkage on the rod where it's supposed to be and put the clip in there. Oops. There we got throttle. Give her some choke. Couple RPMs. A little less choke. Dies. Right about there, trying to just down on the sweet spot. Give it a little more fuel. Try to get it to idle. Putting right along. Gotta watch that area where it's flowing out. I think it's coming right out of the pipe right there. Nice little breeze. It runs nice. That's how slow we can get it to go. We're gonna hit the ground wire pretty soon. Come on back. Nice, nice. See if we go. Again, it's air cooled, so it doesn't matter what. Yeah, get a little more throttle. cool is that? Probably the first time it's been running in about 50, 60 years. Blowing some nice cooling air from the fan going down and around it. All right. Another one lives. Tell another day. Burning off some oil and crap off of it, but that's fine. Unfortunately, I do not have the capacity to go put it in the water in the lake right now and run it, but I do have a couple other ones coming up in the future. We could probably do a bunch of them at the same time. We'll just kind of go on the, I have a little 14-foot rowboat of sorts that we can throw this on and do some tests. Well, I'd say that one survives. Get some covers to put back on. I don't see any gas leaking out of it. Again, the fuel doesn't shut off. I thought we were going to see some dripping either around here or around the seal on the carb, but no, looks good. Guys, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I did. I had a little bit of fun resurrecting some old junk and bringing her back to life. A little Lauson 4-stroke, air cooled. Be curious to see how well it kind of pushes something in the water. Seems like it's really decent. I don't know what the horsepower again is. I'm guessing it's fairly low. It's probably going to be like a 2-horse. Be my guess. I guess for like 1945, those things weren't very big. All right, guys. Oh, thank y'all for hanging out with me. Have a little bit of fun. Bringing resurrecting old junk back to life. One of my favorite things to do. All right, guys. Till the next one. I'll see ya. Bye. Would you really think I wasn't going to run it in water? That might take a minute. I'm guessing this is going to be what's considered a long shaft, because it's really down deep in the pail. So long shaft is sailboat. It's got a long or tall keel on them. Could be used on either, but generally looking at the depth of how far that sits down there. What do we got into it? 2 O-rings, one for the carb, one for the cap, and a different nut. Everything else we were pretty much able to use everything over on. Alright, I say about another 10 or 15 minutes. There's no water pump to get over. I'd like to get over the exhaust though, because that'll show how quiet it is when it's running, when it's kind of bubbling into the water instead of atmosphere. Gas, pet, cock. Alright, fire in the hole. Let's try no choke and whatever. Let's go half throttle right now. First start easy. Make a whirlpool, kick it to the side. That's just putting. Slow it down. Man, that runs nice and quiet. Super quiet. I want to give it a bunch of throttle, but I'm afraid I'm going to kick all the water out. Oh yeah, I'm losing her. See if I can neutralize it straight on. I lost it. So how clean the water looks. I do have 2-stroke gas in it, so it is still pumping some crap out of the exhaust as far as like the oil part of it. It doesn't look terrible though. That's wide open, but the problem is I think it can't let the prop get up to speed because it's not moving, you know? kind of only has one air fuel mix, so it's got, you know, at an idle you probably tweak it in for one spot, and then as you revved it up, it seemed a little bit better. Again, so you get on a boat, you kind of fine tune it a little bit and get it dialed in, but you're able to get the idle real good. When I went to rev it up, it was kind of fighting itself, and then I gave it just a little bit more fuel, a little more, a little less. Forget which way I went, and then it, you know, got more RPMs out. But I think if you get it in a boat in the water, you're able to have the prop get up to speed, because right now it's fighting itself. It can't push the water away fast enough. Decent machine though, huh? I'm amazed at something. This is 76 years old. It was made with tooling that was, what, 100 years old, 80 years old when this thing was made. And today we can't make something that lasts, you know, 5-10 years before the coils start going bad and everything starts failing in them and all the parts crap out in it. Here's one here that's, again, yeah, made 76, 77 years ago, and everything still functions on it perfectly fine. I think it kind of took a turn for the worse. But then again, you want to sell parts, right? All right, guys, I'm babbling. Thanks y'all for hanging out. I had a little bit of fun with it. I hope you did too. Till then. I heard a couple of you crying foul. I didn't start it with a rope. All right, see if we can start it with a rope. Gotta go make some shims up underneath the that I still don't have the right nut on there, so I got some shims bolting up the pulley. Get it sit in the right place. I wouldn't hurt it either. You get it up out of that cover a little bit. It seems like that cover is kind of close to the where the rope would run. How many pulls do you think? Where's the rope? There it is. I'm gonna say it's gonna go on the first one. It's been off for about 15 minutes now. Let's see what we get. Huh? How many? First one? Ah! Jinxed myself. Should have said 10. They would have went on the first one. Let's go with this rope. Probably get a bunch more wraps out of it. That's better. Just needed the right rope. All right, now I'm done, I promise.